All right, so let me give you a demo of what we are going to build. All right, so here you can see this website over here. This is the secure notes application. Okay, and it's about it's essentially a notes taking application that is built in a secure way, and we have made sure that we implement the Spring security concepts over here. All right, so this is a landing page. If you see, okay, a landing page with a lot of components here onto the landing page. Here you have two buttons, sign in and sign up. And at the top right, you have buttons like contact, about, and sign up. All right. So if you say sign up over here, okay, you are being taken to a page wherein you are being asked to register or create an account. And of course, make a note that you can even create an account using Google and GitHub. Okay. If you come back to the home page, you can even head over to the sign in page from where you can log in. Okay. So let me log in and let me show you. So I'll log in as admin over here. Okay. These are my admin credentials. I'll say login. Now, the moment I log in, I'm being taken to the home page of the application. Okay. So this is a dashboard where I can see all my notes that I have created. I can even log out by clicking on the top right over here. You can see I'm logged out. You can even sign up. Now, let me also show you the reset password functionality. So you will see over here this button. So if you don't remember your username and password, if you don't remember your password and if you wish to reset it, you can head over to forgot password over here and you can enter the email. Okay, so let's say I will enter this email. This is a dummy email that I have for demonstration purpose. I'll say send. Now what will happen is a forgot password email will be triggered to this particular email that I have entered. Okay, this is the email address that is associated with my account. And I can head over to my mailbox and check the email that I would have received. Now here in my mailbox, you can see the password request, password reset email that I have received. All right. Now over here, I have not used a lot of copy or design over here, but you can do that if you wish to. Okay, but you can see it's a very simple email. And here you can see this is the link. And if you observe the link here, I am adding a token in the end. So this part is token, you can see. So this is the URL, localhost 3000. So this will be replaced by any domain where you host your application, reset password, and then you have token over here. Okay. Now this token is important from the security standpoint. This token has an expiry date. So this token expires. Okay. It's not like this token will be valid forever. Okay. And if you click on this, okay, you will be asked to enter a new password over here. Okay. You can see this URL. Okay. And after a while, this link would reset or it won't be valid over here. Okay. After the expiry ends over here. Okay. And yeah, this is only usable once. So once you update the password, okay, this URL or this token is marked as used. Okay. So this password reset related things, okay, these things that you are supposed to keep in mind, all of this we will be implementing using Spring Security. So how can you have URLs that you can make use of, to allow users to reset the password? Okay, you can see there is a very unique token that is being embedded in the URL. Okay, and this token is unique to this user. Okay, so if any other user or if I do a password reset request again, I'll get a new token, something like that. All right. So this is about a password reset. All right. Now what I will do is I will log in over here and I'll show you some features. Okay. So here you can see this is a note taking application. So you can see these are all my notes. Okay. And I can go over here, click over here. You can see this create note tab. I can go over here and I can create a new note. So I can type in my new note over here. Okay. Also keep in mind that this part of the application is like it supports a lot of formatting options. So you can see over here, you can bold a text over here. You can see it will appear in bold. You can make it italic, right? You can even have underline over here. You can underline it. Strike through is also there. Okay. So there are lots of formatting options that you can add over here to your notes. Okay. If you wish to. So we are making use of this editor that I'm going to talk about, and you can also like remove the formatting from here. You can see the formatting can be removed. All right. So I'll just keep bold over here. Okay. You can even change the heading style to heading 2 or something like that if you wish to. Okay, but I can create a node like this. Okay, and the node would be created. You can see my new node over here. This is the one. Okay, and it's created today, and you can view it if you wish to. So this is a view page, and you can see the audit logs over here. Now audit logs tell you like what has happened with the node. So if I edit the node again, you will see all of this in the logs. Okay, so let me edit this over here. I can say 1. I'll update it. You can see this user has updated. So there is an update that happened on this node. This user updated the node, and this is a timestamp as to when he updated the node. Okay, so we are recording every event that happens with a node. So if there is a shared node in the system, and if anyone updates the nodes or anything, you can keep a track or a log of what has happened with that node. All right. So that's how this functionality helps. You can even delete the node if you wish to. I can click on delete, and this will delete the node. All right. So yeah, that's about node over here. The create node, you saw this editor as well. You have contact page, about page. These are all static pages. Then you have the profile section over here where you can update all the details that you wish to related to your profile. We'll come to this shortly. Okay, but I also want to talk about the admin area over here. Okay, so what is the admin area? Admin area is a tab or a section in our application which is only accessible by admins and not by anyone else. Now, what does this mean? So it means that users with only specific set of privileges or roles can access this particular area. All right. So I'm logged in using admin credentials over here, right? And you can see I'm able to access this. Now, let me open another instance of the browser over here. Okay. So this is Firefox open. Okay. And let me sign in with a separate user. Okay. So I'll say user 1. Okay. And I have a password for this user as well. Okay, let me log in. Now over here you will see I'm not seeing admin tab over here. Why? Because this user is not an admin, so he is not seeing admin tab. Okay, but when I logged in from my admin credentials, I'm seeing the admin tab and I can access it. Okay, now if for some reason, okay, I'll copy this URL, and let's say if this user who is not an admin, he gets to know that, hey, there is something on this URL which is only accessible to admin. Let me access it. If he tries to access it, okay, he's going to see this page which is access denied. Okay, so this is authorization in place that is there in our application where we are keeping a track as to who has access to specific pages and who does not. And if a person does not have access to a specific set of pages, we take them to access denied so that they cannot access it. So this is a security feature that we have implemented, and I'm going to show you how you can build this. Okay, so yeah, this is about authorization part. Okay, now I would also want to talk about the OAuth part. Okay, so we'll come to admin, this admin section a little after a while, and the profile section as well. I want to talk about OAuth. So here you can see login by Google, login with GitHub. So you can log in and create accounts using these two methods as well. Okay, so let's say if I want to log in, I will click on this button and I'll log in. And on the sign up page also, if you click on sign up, you have these two options again. Okay, so if I say login over here, I'm being taken to this page, right, where I'm being asked to select the account using which I want to log in. So since I selected Google, I have this option over here. Okay, you'll also see that we have this application here as well. Okay, so this is the application that we'll be creating on the Google console. I'm going to show you step by step how you can do that. Okay, we are seeing the name of the application, and if you select this, okay, normally you would see, okay, so I'm being prompted for a Google Authenticator code over here because I have two-step verification enabled. So I'll quickly enter this code over here. Okay, so 1 second. So it's this. All right, so I entered the code. I'm into the application. I will be asked for a authorization page over here from Google. Okay, and this is going to ask you for 3 permissions. Okay, you can see your personal info that is public, and your email. So all of this, how you can fetch all of this from Google, I'm going to show you. Okay, and you can say continue over here. All right, and you can see over here we are into the application now. So we logged in using Google. Okay, you can even log in using GitHub. All right. So if I log out, you can come over here. You'll see the login with GitHub account. Login with GitHub option over here. Okay. Now how this functions is what happens is if you authorize Google and if our application gets the details from Google, then the application checks if the user exists with those credentials, like that username, that email. If the user exists, then the application will log you in. If the user does not exist, then the user will be created and the application will log you in. That is how it works. All right. So that's about how OAuth works. You can log in using GitHub as well over here. All right. But now what I will do is I'll just log in using admin. Okay. And we'll head over to profile now. We'll talk about profile first and then we'll talk about admin. All right. Now profile section is a section where you manage your profile details. Okay. So you can see over here, I'm admin. Okay. My role is this. I can update my credentials from here. I can update my username, email, my password from here. All right. I also have an option to mark my account as expired, locked, or enable my account. Okay. So my account is enabled right now. And my credentials expire with time. So this is when my credentials are expiring. All right. You can even mark your credentials as expired immediately. You can, here you can see your last login session. So this gives you an indicator of when you had logged in last. Okay. So if there is a security breach or something, or if someone else gains access to your account without your knowledge, you will get to know from here. All right. So this is all general details that we are displaying over here. You can update your credentials as well. All right. Now over here, you have something called as multi-factor authentication. All right. Now, if you see this is disabled right now. You can see deactivated. Okay. So using multi-factor authentication, you can add additional layer of security to your account. Okay. Wherein first your account would be validated with one way using your credentials. And then you will be prompted to add a Google Authenticator code over here. Okay. So that is what we have done over here as well. So let me show this to you. Okay. So I'll say enable two-factor authentication over here. But before doing this, I'll talk about Google Authenticator app over here. Okay. Google Authenticator app. All right. So if you Google Authenticator app, you'll see this app appear on iPhone as well as iStore, as well as on Google Play. Okay. So whichever device you are using, just download this app. All right. If you come over here, you're going to see, I'll just explain things using the screenshots. Okay. What this application does is it gives you a secure code or unique code that you can use it for sign in. Okay. And this is for two-step verification. Okay. And you can see this is the interface over here. Okay. So here you can see for this particular account, this is the code and it expires in like few seconds, I would say. Okay, and then a new code is generated. So it's a very secure way of adding additional layer of security to your account, and it is being maintained by Google as well. Okay, you can see over here it's from Google. Okay, and by clicking on this plus icon, you can add or you can scan QR codes or you can add an account over here during the setup. And how you can do that, I'll show that to you. Okay, so if you come over here, you can click on enable two-factor authentication. Okay, now the moment you do this, you will get a QR code to scan. Okay. Now what you have to do over here is you have to go to your Google Authenticator app. Okay. And you have to click on this plus. Now when you click on this plus, you will be asked to scan the QR code. So you need to select that option and you need to come over here and you need to scan the QR code. So as I'm saying this, I have scanned the QR code. Okay. I'm not able to record my phone over here, mobile phone. The reason is this application does not allow screen recording because it's a secure app from Google and it's just not allowed. I tried recording it, but the output was only a blank screen. Okay, because I'm also using this application for a lot of my personal stuff like my bank accounts, my personal emails and all of that. Okay, so I thought I'll blur out and cut out some information and I'll show how you can use it, but I was just not able to record it. Okay, because of the security measures implemented by Google. Okay, but I'm showing you screenshots and I've scanned the QR code and I got this sort of a code over here on my homepage within the application. So I'll enter the code over here. So the code over here is 046 and I'll say verify. Now the moment I say verify over here, you can see two-factor authentication is enabled or activated. All right. Now let me demonstrate how this works and how this thing adds additional layer of security to your application. So if I log out now, okay, I'll enter my password, credentials. I entered that. Okay. Now this username and password is one layer of security. Okay. This username and password is one layer of security, and the authentication code from Google Authenticator app is the second layer of security. That is what I've configured, right? So if I say login, I will be asked for my verification code over here. Now, what is my verification code? I have to open the Google Authenticator app. So this app on my phone. So you can also open it on your iPhone. There is an app for that as well. Okay. And you'll see a code appear against your account details. So I'll enter. My code is 775407. Okay. So I'll say 775407 and I'll say verify, and then I'm logged in. Okay. But let me tell you, if I enter a wrong code, okay, if I enter a wrong code over here, so let me see the code again. Okay. So it's refreshing. So the code now is 131669. Okay. So if I enter 131668, let's say it's 669, but if I enter 668, okay, let me show you what happens. If I say verify, you will see invalid two-factor authentication code. If I enter the right one, it will take you in, right? So this is very secure. Even if your passwords are leaked online, let's say if you're building a service, if you're implementing a security measure in your personal application, and let's say if there's a data breach and your passwords were leaked online, then too the hackers cannot gain access to the account because you had two-factor verification enabled. Even though he had the combination of username and password, the second layer, which is the two-factor authentication from Google Authenticator app, that is something which is configured on your phone, right? So the hacker won't get access to your account. That's the security measure that we have implemented over here in profile. Okay. You can choose to disable this as well. If I disable this, okay, you can see like it's asking me to enable again. And of course, when I enable two-factor authentication, it is only enabled for this user that I'm logged in with, not with the other user or any other system user that exists in the database. All right. So that's the multi-factor authentication, and that is how it's being managed here in the UI application. Okay. I'll also talk a bit about password security over here. Okay. But before jumping over to password security, I'll talk about the admin section over here. Okay. So let's explore this admin. Now this admin section is only for admins, the site admins. Here you can see all the users. Okay. So all the users that have been created in my application, I'll see all of them over here. So you can see these are all the applications. This is when they were created. This is their status, and I can click on view and I can view the information to profile, of profile. All right. Now as an admin, I have the authority to change the password or any sort of information of any user. Okay. So if I want to edit the password, I can click over here. Okay. So keep in mind, I have not given direct edit access over here. Okay. So that I don't want admins to edit the passwords accidentally. So it should be intentionally. So they have to click over here. Then they have to enter the password. And that is when the password is entered. Okay. I'll say cancel. You come over here. You can change the role over here. So if I want to update or upgrade this user to role admin, I can do that. And tomorrow, if there is any other role that is being added into a system, that will also be reflected over here. Okay. I can lock the account, mark the account as expired. I can expire the credentials. All of this I can manage from here as an admin. Okay. And I can do that for any sort of user over here. You can see. Okay. So that's something you need to understand over here. All right. So this is about admin section. And if you go to audit logs, here you will see what all is happening, or what sort of actions users are doing in your application. So you can see username admin updated this note with note ID 2, and this is the content that he updated. Okay, you can click and go to the note as well, and you can see what all logs have happened against this note. Okay, so all of that can be done. Okay, you can see this note 32 was updated on July 9 over here by admin. I can go over here and see what all updates have happened for this particular note over here. Okay, so this is kind of a log or a security feature that I've added over here. Here you can see the pagination also being implemented. All right. So yeah, that's about the admin section over here. Now I also want to talk about that whatever functionality we saw in the front end, of course you will be building the APIs for that. Okay, and you can see these are the APIs that we will be talking about and will be building. Okay, and all the APIs over here are authenticated. You can see we are making use of JWT authentication. We are also making use of CSRF protection over here. So our application is CSRF protected. If you don't know what CSRF is, if you don't know what JWT is, that's completely okay. If you don't know what OAuth is, that's completely okay. It's all covered. But I just want to tell you that it's a kind of security attack against which we are protecting our application. So here you can see every API request over here will need a CSRF token. It will need a authorization token, which is a JWT token. Okay. And all of this will be building over here. You can see update notes. It needs these kind of tokens. Without this, the application is not going to function. Okay. Now the thing is, this is needed by backend. Now from frontend, how can you make sure that these two things are passed with every API request? How can you make sure that? So that is exactly what we are going to learn, how things work when React comes into picture. Okay. With backend, you will build all of this, but how do these things function when you have a front end in place? All right. So that is what we are going to cover. All right. I also want to talk about password security. So here I'm here in the database. Okay. You can see my passwords are encrypted. They are hashed. You can see over here, they're encrypted, and you can see these are not in human readable format. So this is how we are securing our passwords. Ideally, it's best practice that you should not store passwords in plain text format in your database. But what happens is normally system admins and database administrators, they have access to database and they can gain access to all the credentials. They can know all the credentials. Or tomorrow, if your database is hacked, then the hacker will have access to the plain text passwords, right? And it's in human readable format. So the best security practice is to store them in hashed or encrypted format, which we are doing over here. We are going to cover all of this as to how this can be done with the help of Spring Security. And yes, over here, I'm showing you the demonstration of MySQL, but I've also shown you how things work with Postgres. So if you want to update the database tomorrow to Postgres or any other database, you should be happily able to do that. All right. So yeah, that's about the entire application. All right. I hope you have a clear picture of what we are doing, what we are going to build, and how this application Secure Notes is going to function. All right. Now, I would like to also mention that this application is hosted on this website over here that you're seeing on the screen. Okay. So if you want to play around with the application yourself, you can head over to this website and you can take a look and play around with the application before you enroll into this course. So yeah, I hope this was useful and I hope you are excited.